Hi guys, welcome to another video. Going to do something a little bit different today. I thought I'd do just a quick little video about deadlifts. Since I'm kind of known for my deadlifts, kind of a one-trick pony. It's one lift I'm pretty good at. I'm always getting asked questions about how to build it, what's the best programming, form, loads of different things like that. Now, I'm not to say I'm any expert. I'm naturally just quite good at it anyway. I always say you probably do better talking to somebody that used to be really bad at it and has got really good at it. But I'll chuck in my 2 cents anyway. People often ask me, what's the thing that's brought on my deadlifts the most? For me, it was volume. I did a lot of volume with good form. It's all the rage these days to say low volume with deadlifts, it affects your CNS, blah, 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 blah. But I think a lot of that's trash personally. It's a hard exercise, it's brutal, it's hard work. But I find a good bit of volume in there does tend to work. In terms of variations on deadlifts, the three exercises that I've done that have really brought my deadlifts on are pause deadlifts, but that's pausing the deadlift as soon as you break the floor. Pete Rubish does these a lot as well. If you actually look at his YouTube videos and some of my pause videos, if you look at them, you literally just break the floor, pause for a second, and then explode up. It teaches you to get extremely tight, locks that form in, and it builds that power as well from that complete dead stop. Those possibly are the best exercise in my opinion for bringing deads up. On top of that, deficit deadlifts, they're good if you're slow off the floor, they're good if you're slow at lockout, they're just good in full stop. The extra range of motion makes the deadlift much harder. It works. Volume with deficit deadlifts really does work. A 5x5 routine, for example, is extremely good with deficit deadlifts. Aside from that, as you can see in my past videos, I love band work. Reverse band deadlifts, which take the weight off at the bottom and overload at the top. They're kind of an ego thing, but they are awesome for building speed. If you don't get enough speed off the floor, you're not going to lock it out. And like the ones I saw me do on Sunday, pulls against bands, brutal, make you extremely sore, but it works that lockout so well. And again, really got to hammer the form, really got to hammer the speed to make sure you can lock it out. And then aside from that assistance work, it's targeted to where your weakness is, whether that's lower back, hamstrings, upper back. Without seeing videos of how individuals' form is, I can't really comment on that. For me personally, I've had a lot of success with targeted hamstring exercise, seated hamstring curls for volume, high volume, and also upper back work, heavy barbell rows. I'm not a proponent of strict barbell rows. I personally like what I call a deadlift row, which is take deadlift stance, deadlift grip, everything exactly the same, explode it off the floor like you would a deadlift, but go into a row. I've had a lot of success with those. Strict rows have their place, but I think more in terms, for me personally, for bodybuilding purposes, I think for deadlift purposes, overloading with heavy rows makes a big difference. Common mistakes I see from many people. I'm talking about convention, and I'm not going to go into sumo because sumo is not my thing. I can do it, but it's not my area. For me, for conventional deadlifts, I think many people set it far too wide. Their foot stance is far too wide, and hence their grip is then far too wide. This makes the range of motion a lot longer. Makes you drive off the floor a lot slower. I'm known for my speed off the floor, and I think a lot of that is because I am quite narrow stanced and I explode into the lift and get my quads into it before my back has to take over. So I always say to people, look at my setup and look at a fair few big deadlift as well. Pete Rubish again, his stance is very narrow, and of course you can then bring your hands right in either side of your legs. And in my opinion, it just works. Not for everybody. Bigger lifters with wider hips, etc. Yeah, you're going to need to go wider. For example, like Brian Shaw, he pulls very wide. He has no choice. He has to do that because of the size he is, and he's a lot stronger that way. But for the majority of gym goers, they set it far too wide. I had a lad the weekend, was asking me some pointers, and instantly I brought his stance in, brought his grip in. The whole lift was a lot faster, smoother, cleaner. It just worked for him. So again, it depends on the individual, but I think many people set it far too wide. On top of that, a lot of people don't engage the lats. That's sort of, I like to say, tucking your elbows into your back pockets, engaging the lats before the pull, bracing, big belly of air, brace hard, screw your feet into the floor. Head up is oftentimes people have a head up too much or head too low. You want your head nice and neutral. Keeps that lower back nice and tight then as well, so you don't get any lower back rounding. And again, another thing, people just tend to quit easily on the lift as well. It starts to get difficult, they just drop it. Sometimes you've got to fight through it, and you've got to really work for it. So, yeah, form can get a pot if not careful. But a lot of the time, people don't commit to the lift. You have to commit to a deadlift. If you don't commit to it and put everything you've got into it, it ain't going. So that's just a quick little overrun of some common mistakes I see. Not getting tight, too wide a grip, no lat engagement, not bracing, and yeah, quitting the lift too early. Again, it all depends on the individual style of lifting. I'll need to see people's lifts to assess where they need to change, but that's some common mistakes. Program wise, I've had a lot of success with 5x5 in the past, which when you fail you go to a 4x4, 3x3, 2x2, max out with a 1x1. Again, that gives excellent volume, and I like to get a second day in there as well with some other form of like assistance, like a variation. Let's say pause deadlifts, reverse band deadlifts is a massive favourite of mine. Something like that, or even just a heavy like deadlift rows for a second day. Other ones I've done, I've got my own routine I've devised, which Richard, my one client, has been on and he's had great success with, which is what I call the Ox singles routine. Builds a lot of confidence, very, very long running program, and it adds a lot of strength and confidence, builds masses of confidence. But that's just my routine. That's one of the routines I came up with. Other ones I've had success with are, if you've heard of Dr. Squat, his 80-day powerlifting program. Great movement, great program. And the old standard Russian masters as well. People say about the Cohen Filippi one, if I said that correctly, Filippi. I've run it in the past, it's okay. It does work. I think if you're coming back in the early stages, I think for more advanced lifters, you're not going to get a lot out of it, but it does work. Aside from that, people have issues when they can't pull from the floor. Everyone, I think, can deadlift. It's a case of just learning the setup, learning the form. If you can't do it, start off on blocks and gradually work your way down. Everyone, I think, can do, even people with back issues. They have to be very, very serious if they can't do. It's just a case of starting light and learning that movement pattern and being careful with it. There are exceptions to the rule where people can't do it, and it's fair enough, but majority of people can and should deadlift. It's something you do in everyday life. It's an important thing to be able to do in terms of just picking a box up off the floor. Everyday life, everybody has to deadlift nearly on a daily basis. If you get good at it, it can only be a good thing for your body. So yeah, that's just a quick overrun, guys. There's lots more. I could go into any detail, but any questions, just shoot me a message. I'll be happy to get back to you with any answers I might have for you. Any way I can help you, just give me a shout. If you like the video, if it's helped you, just please subscribe, give us a like, and I'll be back with some more. I might do an actual gym lift instructional video and go through it if I can get quite enough time in the gym at some point. It's quite loud in there with music playing all the time, but if I can do it at some point fairly quiet, I might do an instructional video actually in the gym and go over a few of these points. But in the meantime, other ones I'd suggest you look at, there's an instructional video from Pete Rubish, which I think are very good, and Chris Duffin, both excellent deadlifters, and they have some good instructional videos out there, but I will try to endeavour to do one myself. But yeah, any points that you're interested in, guys, like I say, anything you want to discuss, just give me a shout, but I'll be happy to help. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. If you like it, please like it and subscribe and share and put the video out there for me. Really appreciate it, guys. Thanks for your time. I'll catch up with you in the week.